Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, more specifically the Season 5 spoilers that were revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, specifically on Friday, July 19th, during some interviews at the panel. So I'm recording on the 30th, so huge spoiler alert before we get right into it. If you are not wanting to know any spoilers, then you really shouldn't be watching this video. Otherwise, continue with your own discretion. But this video is going to pertain to any spoilers from the convention I found, specifically through 4 interviews because there was no official panel for the show. So that's kind of where all my information is coming from. But even though there was no official panel, Brandon Routh, aka Ray Palmer, did join the Arrow panel when talks about the crossover came up on the Saturday. And then Katie Lotz, who plays Sarah Lance, she was part of the fan favorites panel that happened on that Friday as well. So you were able to see them around during conventions, but there was no specific panel for Legends, which is where interviews come in case. So hopefully this video is helpful as I try to compile all the relevant spoilers you could possibly need. So up on screen is a video plan for me. Just give you an idea. I'm going to talk about some season basics going into it. I would talk about the trailer details, but there was none revealed or previewed anywhere, so we're going to skip over that. And then we're going to the interview spoilers that I acquired from 4 different interviews, and then we're going to go into my top 5 interview questions I would have had if I had the opportunity to ask them for the cast itself. So I'll try to do this in 20 minutes, so let's start the clock. Let's begin with the season basics. So pretty much this is a mid-season return. It's expected to come back in January of 2020. Also be advised that it is part of the 5-part crossover, which is supposed to span over the winter hiatus. So I'm not sure episode-wise where the crossover fits for Legends, but that's something to keep in mind. Also, it's going to be 15 episodes this season as well. And apparently they started filming on July 15th. So the week leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, they at least had a week of shooting already underway. So there is that. So when regards to interviews, I did, like I said, only go to 4 interviews itself, and it had to be the cast interviews. I didn't go into any of like the individual interviews that might have been out there, but my interviews are from Entertainment Tonight, Entertainment Weekly, TV Line, and Extra TV. Up on screen, you'll see specifically which point of spoiler came from which interview. There are a lot of them that were talked about through a majority of the interviews. Again, I'll state that on the screen as well. But those are the 4 I am going to be referencing to. So let's get right into it. The one thing that was talked about through all 4 interviews was the fact that Sarah will be getting a superpower. Specifically, it went in a little more detailed in the TV Line and the Extra TV interviews, saying that it's going to be a complicated power that is going to cause a lot of problems for her, specifically in her personal life, but it's going to be a huge challenge trying to find that balance. It's also not going to be a clear power, like you're not going to know what it is at first, but apparently it is going to make her more powerful, but it's going to make her a lot more difficult to deal with on a personal level. It's definitely going to be compromising some relationships. Now, with that description, I'm immediately thinking either telepathy or empathy. Empathy specifically because I'm thinking back on when when Phoebe got that power in season 6, how much of a disruptive power it was between the sisters. So on a relationship-wise, I could see how that could be an issue on the ship, but I can also see how telepathy could be a major issue for the team in regards to Sarah just hearing all their thoughts and stuff. But I could see how it can make her more powerful because then she could be more intuitive, like more literally intuitive, and like knowing what her opponent's thinking and stuff like that and using that to her advantage. So it'll be plus it's not something you can easily detect that she has. So it'll be very interesting to see what the power turns out to be. Again, I'm only speculating that it's going to be either telepathy of some sort, but it could be some mind mental thing. But at first, I don't know how I feel about Sarah having a power, because one thing I really loved about Sarah was the fact that she was a hero despite not having a power. It was like it wasn't like she had this power and she chose to do the greater thing with it and help other people. No, this is someone who's just an ordinary human who was put under some very extenuating circumstances, and yet she chose out of all that to become a hero instead. So that's what I always loved about Sarah, was the fact that she was a hero despite just being a normal human. Like, she used what she had, she used what her limits were, and she was able to surpass that and become the hero that she is today. So the fact that she's getting a superpower, I don't know how I feel about that when I already feel so strongly in liking that she didn't have a power out of all the heroes. So I guess we'll have to wait and see about how that is going to go about. Another thing that they talked about throughout the, I guess, 3 of the 4 interviews was specifically the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm not sure if Entertainment Weekly actually talked about this or not, but that one was just a very awkward interview, and I really don't want to rewatch it again. So I'm going with my notes on this. But Entertainment Tonight, TV Line, and Extra TV did go into extensively about the fact that Brandon Routh is going to be playing 4 characters. Specifically, he's going to return to the role of Superman, which he played in the 2006 film. So they're going to be... he's going to be coming back to play that, and also he's going to be playing Ray Palmer in The Atom. They keep referencing that he's going to be playing 4 characters, but I'm not sure if it's like distinctly 4 different people or if they're counting the superhero identities as characters. So if that's the case, Ray and The Atom are either one person or it's 2 characters. So I don't know if the 4 characters is just referencing Clark and Superman, and then Ray and Atom, and that's technically your 4 characters, or if they actually mean like Clark and Superman, 1 character, Ray and Atom, 2nd character, and then he's going to have 2 more that we don't know about. So I'm not sure what they're differentiating between character and person is, but they do only talk about the fact that he is going to be playing at least these 2 counterparts. It's also, they talked about in the TV Line one that the Superman version we're getting in the Crisis is going to be a similar version to the movie counterpart that he played. Also, in the Extra TV Line one, Brandon had mentioned that there is while there's similarities between Ray and the Atom, there is a distinction between Superman and Clark that he'll be interested in playing again. And also in the Entertainment Tonight one, he did specify that while he's playing Superman, Tyler Hoechlin will also be playing the Superman we have known from Supergirl. So we'll get 2 versions of Superman during the crossovers. So that'll be something interesting there. Now, 3 interviews talked about the fact that Katie Lotz will be directing an episode in Season 5. In TV Line and TV Extra, she confirmed that it's going to be the 5th episode that she'll be directing. And it'll be first time she's directing as well. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. She should be going to prep for it very soon, I believe. But there's that. Next thing they talked about was the villains of the season. They're going to be the historical baddies that are souls that have escaped from hell. They are calling it the Encores, which is a fitting name. They're apparently supposed to be fun yet horrible people. Apparently Astra is supposed to be like kind of like the leader to all of them, maybe, or she's the one that's dishing all these Encores out to like distract the Legends. Who knows? But she's definitely going to be behind a few things. And then also in the Extra TV interview, they did go specifically into the first 4 that they had planned. Episode 1 is supposed to take place in 1916, dealing with Rasputin. 502 is supposed to deal with the 1940s with an LA noir vibe. There's supposed to be a 1980s slasher one in there. There's also supposed to be one dealing with the French Revolution with Marie Antoinette time period. So they go, that's as far as they went, and that's as far as the writer room has gotten so far, or at least what the cast has known maybe, but they did drop a little bit there. And then speaking of episodes, the 3 interviews talked about how episode 1 is supposed to be a mockumentary. TV Line specifically got that Legends are outed as heroes, and it kind of goes into their heads, and it's shown through the mockumentary. And then Extra TV Line is the only one that stated that it's going to be kind of focused in the 1916 year with the Rasputin. So there's that. Also, Entertainment Weekly, TV Line, and Extra TV did talk about having a different version of Zari. So as you know, in the finale, they kind of changed the course of the future, so that resulted in a different Zari. TV Line went into the fact that it's going to, Tala is going to be spending more time in the makeup chair, because not only does Zari have a different personality, but she also has a different look, because without the horrible dystopian future that she lived in, she now lived a very different life, and she became a very different person. And because Zari was never part of the Legends team, instead, it's her brother that had taken her spot since her premiere in the season 3 with the whole totem issue. He's now become a time bro, as they call it. So he's definitely close with the team. In Extra TV, they comment on the fact that Sarah actually has a nice relationship with Zari's brother, Brihad. So it'll be interesting to see how he meshes with the team and if it's any way similar to how Zari had originally meshed with the team. So there is that. And then also 2 interviews. Entertainment Weekly and Extra TV talk about the theme of family, how it's going back to basics, and how as a family unit their relationships are going to be tested. Maybe in minor ways and maybe in major ways. We'll just have to wait and see about that. And then for the last few, it's only been brought up through Extra TV's interview, and that is big things are supposed to be coming for Sarah and Ava. Katie Lotz didn't go further into this because she wasn't sure what was rumored or what was actually confirmed, so she just left it with big things are coming. And then also they did reveal that Mick now has a literary agent for his pen named Rebecca Silver, and they were kind of joking about how Mick's inspiration is Fabio when it comes to his writing. So they were talking about him donning on a blonde wig and kind of pulling inspiration from that. So that's a little bit something there. But that's quite a lot of spoilers, even without a panel to go to. So that was pretty cool for the 4 interviews in itself. But let's go right into what my top 5 interview questions would have been if I had the opportunity. First one being, since the Legends changed the 2042 future, does that affect Arrow or The Flash, since they have their own specific future storylines to contend with? So that's the first question. Second question would have been, were the Legends team outed as heroes at Hayworld, or did everyone just assume that they were just performers putting on a show? So it wasn't really clarified at the very end. But then like the whole talk about the mockumentary made it seem like, no, they were officially outed as being members of the Legends team and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see about that. Third one is more like a technicality type thing because it has to deal with Zari's new position. And the question is, would Brihad taking Zari's place on the Legends team erase any associations they originally had with her? Specifically with Nathan, who fell in love with Zari. Is he just supposed to forget that he ever fell in love with her? So that's a question there. Also, a side note, how often are we supposed to see this different version of Zari from 2042 when Tala Ash is still technically a series regular? I mean, series regular, I assume she's part of the team, but if she's not part of the team anymore, then how are they supposed to justify her being a series regular with this new Zari? Also, any way to get the old Zari back, or is this now a permanent thing with this Zari? I don't know, I guess I gotta see how different she is to see which version I like better, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Fourth question, would Gideon have any information about the upcoming crisis on Infinite Earths? I mean, Gideon is from the future. She has future knowledge already stored on the Wave Rider. So it begs the question, is there any chance that somewhere has the crisis information on it, even if originally it was supposed to happen in, was it 2024? And then it just got bumped up 5 years earlier. She should have knowledge about it, right? I mean, Time Vault Gideon had the article, so why wouldn't Wave Rider Gideon have the same thing? So that's something there. Also, that's another question too. When are we going to get present day Barry creating the Gideon program, right? So anyways, I'm getting offline. My actual 5th question was any familiar faces. They did say yes during the Extra TV interview, yet they didn't elaborate. So I'm left wondering, are we going to see any familiar faces, whether it's the present day, whether it's during their time trips, or what? I mean, it would be so cool if they actually traveled to 2040 Star City and saw the next generation that we have on Arrow. But that would be pretty cool. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for the spoilers that I found. What did you guys think about it? Are there any spoilers that you found that I might have missed out on? Please let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, and opinions about all of that. Also, it's a little longer of a wait until we get Legends to return. Pretty much saying next year is accurate. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts, theories, and predictions are for this next season. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog, promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. I'm a little behind, but hopefully I'll get right into it very soon. It's been a very month for me, surprisingly, that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, also WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to my WordPress. I'm a little more organized, a little more detailed, but a work in progress nonetheless. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back and see what I have to say about the Legends premiere. I hope you come back and see what I have to say about the other Arrowverse shows. I'll definitely do a video about the crossover for sure. Pretty sure that would be before season 5 airs, or at the beginning of season 5 airing. But yeah, tune in for that. But otherwise, guys, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are. And I beat the clock very early, so wow. Bye.